Hey guys, let's talk about some basic uses for drawing pencils and tips to make them better and easier for you. So when I'm using a drawing pencil, there's a couple different hand grips you can use when drawing. There's that classic one like you do for when you're writing. This is when your pencil is more upright, you're trying to get the really fine lines, you're getting those little details, things like that. This is great, kind of the middle stage, or even the very end when you're getting in those little details. When we're in the beginning or middle, I like to have a much softer grip on my pencil. This makes shading easier. It makes my pencil draw lighter because when I'm holding it more up and down, it's really hard to get a light value, but it's easy to get a really dark one. To get those lighter values, to get those softer lines, there's two different grips. One is you set your pencil on the table and you take your hand and you make it like a claw. Now I'm going to pick up my pencil in that claw. Then I'm just going to kind of make it comfortable. So I'm just going to kind of spread my fingers out, keep my pointer finger forward. Now, I can't draw with my pencil straight up and down. That's super uncomfortable. So my pencil stays really horizontal, very flat with the paper. This is going to use the side of the lead. So you're going to have a much thicker line, but they are much softer. They are easier to erase. I like to do this when sketching and when I'm shading. So if I was trying to fill in something, I would shade with the side of my pencil like this. So again, my pencil is being held sideways. It's so much easier to control your pressure when your pencil is sideways. Now you don't get as crisp of details like if you're holding it straight up and down, but it's easier to erase, better values. Another great way to do that, I don't really have a name for it, but what I do is I kind of have my classic pencil grip, but I'm going to extend it out really far. So the pencil is really wobbly, it's really loose. I will sketch like this. I can get a little bit thinner lines because I can move my arm up and down. I can still get the side. This is very loose, it's very free. I don't have as much control with it. So I will use this when I'm first starting to sketch something. When I'm trying to figure out my basic sizes of things, I work fast. I'm not worried about details as much. It's just a great way to quickly sketch things out, but you notice, look how light it is. Since I'm holding the pencil so loosely, like somebody could flick it out of my hand super easily, I'm barely touching it to the paper. That means if I took my eraser, I could very easily erase this. Oh, there it is. So I could take my eraser, very easy to erase. Whereas some of the darker sketches, not quite as easy. My holding straight up and down doesn't really erase much at all. So different ways to hold your pencil can get you different techniques. Other things to keep in mind would be how to blend your values together. So let's say I have my circle here. So I'm going to draw my circle and let's fill in some shading. Dark on one side, lighter coming up. I'm just doing this very fast just to show you how I can blend those colors. All right, so I wouldn't want to leave a drawing very sketchy like this. I can see all those pencil marks. I want to blend my values together. So you could use a blending stump like this. I call them blending stumps. I think their technical name is a tortillon. It just sounds like pasta to me, so I like to just call them blending stumps. All they are rolled up pieces of paper, and you could use them to blend colors for you. I personally am not the biggest fan. The sound it makes, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. But I know a lot of people who do like to use these, so those are always a great option. What I like to do is just use my finger. I always have the material with me. I can just rub on the drawing and blend the values out with my finger. Now, when you're blending colors, you might have to go back and add some more pencil. You can use the side of your pencil when you're shading, so that way it's nice and soft, more lead. But use your finger to help blend it out. You will have a dark finger when all is said and done, but that's my personal favorite. You could always use a blending stump. I tend to only use them with really small details because they have a nice point on them. My finger is not pointy like that. So blending stumps can be very, very useful as well.